Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I am so happy to see you, you. So, today I really wanted to do a video where I just show you some of my favorite movies that I have on DVD. I have quite the collection. I never say like something is my favorite movie because I have so many. It really depends on the day. So today I wanted to give you a sneak peek on if you cracked my noggin open and what you would find. That's the best way to introduce it, I think. So, first up, and these are not in any specific order, these are all ones that I would call cinematic masterpieces personally. And it's okay if you don't agree. This is only for just relaxing intentions. And hopefully you will not make it to the last movie. I grabbed quite a few. So first, we have Phenomena. And I had to buy this one like on Amazon. And Phenomena, like it's in a different language on the back. So, Phenomena is a Dario Argento film. It says here, it'll make your skin crawl. And it stars a really young Jennifer Connelly. In this movie, Jennifer Connelly is the daughter of a really famous actor, and she is going to a school abroad, and she can actually talk to insects. And she walks in her sleep, and there's this guy who is killing women, serial killer. I'm not going to spoil these ones, just because it defeats the purpose. I would like for you to watch these, and if you do, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, she can talk to bugs, and there's a little monkey man, and this also has the guy from Friday the 13th, I believe. No, Halloween. The psychiatrist from the original with Jamie Lee Curtis. So he's in this as well. But Dario Argento is one of my favorite horror film directors. He is phenomenal at what he does. He makes really scary characters in the way that sounds like I smoke like a pack like a day. I'm just phlegmy, I promise. So, he makes really beautiful ways for people to die, I guess is the best way to say it. He uses like tempered glass and just very theatrical ways to die, and the way that he directs is beautiful. He really makes it an art, and I love all of his films. My history teacher had actually introduced me to him. One of my favorites by him, but I don't. His movies were so gory, and he's an Italian director. They were so gory that it's like you can't buy them, like the versions that include the gory parts, which I want to see. We have to buy them special. So, next. Dazed and Confused. I know, you expected it. I know, it's okay. I love this movie. This movie is such a good time. It has so many really famous actors and actresses in it. Ben Affleck, Matthew McConaughey. Alright. Just gotta keep it living. Livin'. And the reason that we jump over the fact that in this movie he was a predator he's supposed to be 24, I think, and he's trying to get with a high schooler. It's just gross. That's why we skip over that, because you still thought he was a gentleman, at least. I'm not promoting that, but it's just funny because times have changed. But this was a really good movie. Dazed and Confused is about school students in 1976. And they had just gone out of high school for the summer. You have hazing going on for upcoming students. You have them trying to, I think it's people that are going to be seniors have to take the wooden spanking things, and that's how you initiate them into high school. This movie is wild. It has Ben Affleck. He's right here. And he gets paint thrown on him, which was really funny. And it has that one girl from Blade, too. Right over here. There's a lot of really familiar faces in this movie. And it's a pleasure to watch, really. I find it so funny. And the lead guy, I forget his name. He's so fine. Every single guy in this movie is just nice to look at. And everybody, all the women are beautiful too. It's a good time. Very funny. It's a very cult classic coming of age film. Next, most of you have probably never heard of this movie in your life. And if you have, bless you, because I never hear anybody talk about this movie. Is Laws of Attraction. I love this movie. It is so much fun. Pierce Brosnan and Julianne Moore. We got James Bond and Julianne freaking Moore. I love the chemistry between them on screen. You also have, I forget what his name is. Michael Sheen. There it is. Michael Sheen. Love him. He's in this and he is gorgeous. So this movie is about two divorce lawyers. And they pick up two high-profile cases with a New York designer and a celebrity rock star. And they are on opposing sides, and they get a little drunksies and get married. They elope, at least they think they did. And this is just a very feel-good movie. It goes through a lot of real life things that I don't think are talked about a lot. And the story itself is just a good story. We love an enemies to lovers. That's probably why I like enemies to lovers books. My mom we had it on VHS first, and I made sure to buy it on DVD. Like, it's just a good time. I'm definitely gonna watch this after I film this video. I'm telling you. Next, you will not be surprised. This is one of the movies I picked. My old friend is right here. This is Sweeney Todd, starring Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. I love this movie. This is like cinematic masterpiece. The ending. I remember the first time I watched this movie and I got to the end and I was so shocked and taken aback. What you think this movie is about, it's like so much more than that. And the ending is so shocking. I remember being like, that isn't right. That can't be right. And watching like back the last like 20 minutes, the ending, it will be like one of those like holy crap moments, I think, for forever. It's just, you have to watch this movie if you haven't already. I honestly love all of his movies, every single one. Some aren't the greatest, but most of his movies, especially the ones with Tim Burton, are my staples. But this movie really shines. The premise of this movie is Sweeney Todd is a barber, and he was originally with his wife, and the local town judge fell in love with her and basically got him arrested and put away because he wanted his wife, and he had already had a child with her. And so he gets taken abroad, like to a prison or like a working place, and he misses out on his entire family, and his wife ends up being raped by the judge in front of the entire townspeople, and he keeps their daughter. And it's so sad because the guy that plays him is Alan Rickman, and then his like assistant is also from Harry Potter, and he's the rat, Peter Pettigrew. So it's interesting to see them in that, and they are so awful and disgusting in it. But he breaks out and comes back to, he takes under a different name, and he comes back to be a barber once again, and his goal is to kill the judge for what he has done. But you will not expect this ending. I didn't. It is so sad. I still cry Like, I cry every time. This movie brings out so much emotion, and the songs are beautiful. Just chef's kiss. Now, this is without, like, I know when I'm older and I'm talking and like showing my kids movies, this will be up there because I remember when this movie came out. I was in high school and I just really enjoy everything in this movie. I love fat Amy. I love how spunky she is and confident, and the world was like so like fat phobic almost, and seeing just a bigger girl slay it and show that confidence is for everybody, and you don't have to be like really skinny to be like that girl. I just enjoyed it. I loved how they had this little group of misfits, and all the songs in this movie are so much fun. I can sing them all, like, in my head. I can just, this is so good. I did not like any, I think there's only one sequel, or there might be 3. I thought that the sequels were terrible. I think they did so good with this movie that it really couldn't have been topped. They just did such a good job. So, like, keep rambling. So, this is about a girl named Becca. She's played by Anna Kendrick, which, when this movie came out, you only knew Anna Kendrick from Twilight. I'm just saying, she wasn't Anna Kendrick yet. And so Becca finds herself not right for any clique, but somehow is muscled into one that she never knew would have picked on her own, alongside mean girls, sweet girls, and weird girls whose only thing in common is how good they sound when they sing together. So this is a coming of age. She just started college and she's making new friends, and just a good time. The ending of this movie, killer. I loved how they combined the love of cinema and music together, because I feel like they really come hand in hand. I just really enjoyed it. And this has a lot of familiar faces. Brittany Snow is in this movie, and she is so funny and spunky, and I just love Brittany Snow. I loved her in The Pacifier and Hairspray. Love Hairspray. I really just grabbed the closest movies that I knew I loved. I gotta find Hairspray so we can talk about that. But this was the movie that really boosted a lot of these actors' careers. And it was a good time. There's a lot of funny scenes and a love story within as well. Just was a fun time for me to watch this. And when it came out, it was huge. Like, it was everywhere. So next, we have a classic, Lover, Come Back. And this has Doris Day, Rock Hudson, and Tony Randall. So, not many of you probably know, Rock Hudson and Doris Day had like this line of movies. I love every single one of them. And in every single one, they're like opposing love interests, enemies to lovers. So in this one, which is one of my favorites of the three, all is fair in love and advertising. This movie is about two advertising executives, and they are in New York, and they are on opposing advertising things, and she doesn't like that he will take clients to get drunk and have sex with women, and he doesn't like how she's so like by the book and just a square. And they end up together. This movie is so funny. It's definitely like a classic, and if you have not watched any of these movies, Tony Randall is hysterical. If you are new to this channel, you are just finding out that I love classic cinema. When I was younger, was such a cinema woman, and I was always watching movies. That's what I like to do. And there is this Southern belle in here, and she says, she goes, because of Vip, I got my man. And like, there's all these advertising. You see, like, the advertising in this time, and I think this was in the, like, 60s. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But this is from back in the day, and it's just a good time. And I hope that you will watch it. Other ones are Pillow Talk and Send Me No Flowers. I really like Doris Day, and I love Rock Hudson as well. Next, we have The Dark Knight. This movie is a very heavy movie. This is my first really big moment with Batman. I know that sounds so stereotypical, but I love Batman. Me and my dad have always watched the animated series, and this movie really made you feel like it was very intense for me when I watched this movie. Christian Bale is a phenomenal Batman. He's a phenomenal actor. He did phenomenal. All of the people in this film, their way of acting was just a masterpiece. You have Christian Bale, Michael Caine, love him, Heath Ledger, Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart, Maggie Gyllenhaal, and Morgan Freeman. So you have this very high, all-star cast. The follow-up to Batman Begins. The Dark Knight reunites director Christopher Nolan and star Christian Bale. With the help of Lieutenant Jim Gordon and District Attorney Harvey Dent, Batman sets out to destroy organized crime in Gotham for good. The triumvirate, weird word. Anyway, they team up to go against the Joker. The Joker is destroying Gotham, and really just bringing out fear. I mean, look at him. He's killing everybody. And the ending, they have like a bomb on his ship, and he kidnaps both Harvey Dent and Batman, which is Christian Bale's love interest, who is Maggie Gyllenhaal. So he kidnaps Maggie Gyllenhaal and he kidnaps Harvey Dent. And we find out that Bruce Wayne and Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think it was Rachel. No, Maggie. Yeah, Rachel is her name. There's so many Batman movies that I get some of the names confused with the female. I remember the actresses, but the names get a little jumbled. Her name is Rachel. And Rachel and Bruce have been longtime friends. They had dated, not anymore. And now she is actually getting engaged to Harvey Dent. So the Joker kidnaps them both, and one of them dies. And I remember like watching this movie for the first time, and this was like Game of Thrones. Like, if you want your heart to hurt, this is the movie, because it's so intense. And all of the ones with Christian Bale he was just phenomenal. I liked the previous ones, but not as much as I liked Christian Bale. Very controversial to say, but that is how I feel. And it was a combination, really. It was the director and Christian Bale and his supporting actors. I mean, Heath Ledger, this was his last performance, I believe, before he died, and so sad. He was phenomenal, and he really dedicated to this role, and he became the Joker, and he really, I don't think anybody could top that performance, personally. But The Dark Knight. On to the next. We have Ghostbusters. Answer the Call. And this is the female version, which no one talks about. Is it just me? Like, I really enjoyed this movie. I found it so funny, and I think all of these actresses complemented each other very well. I was really happy with this remake. I don't like the one currently with Paul Rudd. I love this one because it kept that lightness and comedic part to it, and it's just a good time. Now in this one, the two main characters, which are Melissa McCartney and Kristen Wiig, they were old friends who were ghost hunters together, and then they had a falling out, and they end up becoming friends again, and the ghosts engulf New York City again, and they create the Ghostbusters, and they have Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones, which they're just so funny. Kate McKinnon is hilarious. I love her in everything she is in. There's another one, I think Rough Night is another good one with her. But this was I love this movie. And we have Liam Hemsworth. I think that's his name, Liam. Or is that the one that was with Miley Cyrus? Either way, Thor. He's in this. he's funny. He's very kind of dumb in this, but he's a good time. And if you like a lighthearted, spooky movie without the fright, that's your movie. And everybody hated it, I feel. Like I never heard any good reviews. And I disagree. I thought it was very good. Next, we have Friday. And this is every single one. We are committed. Well, Friday, next Friday, and Friday after next. I love all these movies. The second one is my favorite because it has Cat Williams. I love Chris Tucker, who's in the first one. Makes me sad that he isn't in the next, but oh well. And this movie is just about Ice Cube, who has just lost his job, and his friend owes some dealer money, and they have to figure out a way to pay him. This is just a lighthearted smoker movie, and it's a good time. If you're not, you will still enjoy it. It has a lot of really funny just funny parts, and the cast, every single part of it is hilarious. Just another day, but what a day. A day that shows a lighter side to life in the hood and brought multi-talented Ice Cube to a wider audience. The fun kicks off in Friday Director's Cut when Craig and Smokey must come up with $200 they owe a bully, or there won't be a Saturday. So I got it wrong. The bully is he's 7 foot tall. He's huge. Craig is a marked man when next Friday rolls around, so he moves in with family at a place that might be more dangerous, the Burbs. Friday after next brings holiday time, but a sleazy Santa robs Craig of his loot. Chill with Cube and friends. I haven't watched the first one as much as I've watched the second and third. Ice Cube's dad in these movies is hilarious. And I really like Mike Epps. There's a lot of parts where they're at the next door neighbor's house, and it's just funny. It's a good movie. I haven't seen these in a very long time, but it introduced you to a lot of actors. Ice Cube really put a lot of people out and started their careers on these movies. You have, I forget his name. I can't think of his name. I was hoping it would come to me, but I can't remember it. We have it here. We look here. Terrence Blanchard, Donald Lane, Ice Cube, Steve Carr. I don't see him anywhere, darn it. Marcus Radbury, Clifton Powell, Ice Cube, Mike Epps, John Witherspoon. I can't think of his name. He plays the cousin that gets out of jail, and I can't think of his name. He's a very famous actor. Well, oh well. Good movies. Watch them. Next is the cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy. you have not watched this, you need to. We have Brendan Fraser, and we have, I forget her name. I'm not good with all these names, but I do know Mr. Brendan Fraser. And you have The Rock Hudson. He's in it very briefly. Just a very good movie. This is about an ancient legacy of terror is unleashed when the accursed mummy Imhotep is resurrected along with a force even more powerful, the Scorpion King. Now, as the fate of all mankind hangs in the balance, Rick O'Connell and his wife, Evie, embark on a daring, desperate race to save their son and the world from unspeakable evil. Supercharged with pulse-pounding action and spectacular special effects that'll blow you away, this is The Mummy Returns. The Mummy is a cinematic masterpiece as well. These are both phenomenal movies. The first one is when Rick O'Connell meets Evie. I will say, out of the two, I definitely like this one a little bit more. I love Imhotep and the story with him and his lover, Nefertiti. This is a really good movie. A lot of action, a lot of suspense. It's really going to keep you on the edge of your seat. And this is like just so phenomenal. I love this movie. The sequels aren't that great. The third one was terrible. They're supposed to be coming out with another one with Brendan Fraser. I love him. We must protect him at all costs. But there's a lot of just really good, like, the director of this film did a wonderful job. The CGI in it is pretty darn good for its time, and just really beautiful depictions of Egypt as well. I've always been interested in the Egyptian mythology and stuff like that, and this one definitely brings you to that, and it's just very interesting. Very good. Very, very good movie. Next, we have The Private Eyes, and I have never heard anybody say anything about this movie in like my life, and Brim ASMR, she showed this movie on one of her videos, and I was like, because this is such a good movie. The Private Eyes with Tim Conway and Don Knotts. It's a wonderful time. It's so funny. An old, dark house, a double murder, a beautiful heiress, a ghoulish staff, a message from the grave, and to sort it all out, two of the most comically inept bunglers ever to give private detection a bad name. Don Knotts and Tim Conway star as Inspector Winship and Dr. Tart in this comedy delight spiced with goosebumps. So, Winship and Dr. Tart work for the Yard, Scotland Yard. And this heiress, her two parents are murdered, and they are trying to find out who did it. a million times. The Wakalars, if you got something stuck in the back of your throat, you can take a fly and take his wings off and let him crawl around. Tim Conway is he's hilarious in this movie. He's like, he makes all these little gadgets, and they work, but not how you would want them to. The staff is so funny in this as well. You have so many people that you would probably think had done it, and then it ends up being someone else at the end. There's a lot going on here, and it all blends so beautifully. And it's just, this is a classic. And if you have not watched it, you need to. Tim Conway and Don Knotts were definitely a pair to be reckoned with. They complemented each other very well. Next, we have Ernest Goes to Camp, which, if you don't like this movie, I can understand, but this is somewhere in my heart. So, I love all the Ernest movies, specifically this one and Ernest Scared Stupid. So, in this movie, Ernest P. Worrell, America's lanky, lovable know-it-all, stars as the hero of this frenetic, side-splitting comedy. The handyman at Camp Kikaki, Ernest achieves his greatest ambition and becomes a camp counselor to a gang of juvenile delinquents from the Mid-State Boys Detention Center. Not only must Mr. Advice for every possible occasion wrangle the wayward youths, but he has to save the camp from the ruthless clutches of a giant mining company, too. This movie has a lot of heartwarming parts. These kids come to this camp so sad, and Ernest comes to save the day. These kids are just kids from really bad homes, and they needed someone like Ernest to remind them that they are loved and worth something. And this is a very heartwarming movie and very funny. Ernest, or Jim Varney, is hilarious. He's just a very funny character. And if you want to be laughing and feel a little bit lighter, this is a good movie for you. So, last but not least, we have Caspers Scare School. This aired on Cartoon Network, and I've been in love ever since. Casper is played by Devin Werkheiser, and this is just a really good movie. We have Jim Belushi, Bob Saget, and Devin Werkheiser. And Casper is sent back to school to become scary or else. While at Scare School, Casper discovers a plot by the headmasters to take over the world. Joining Casper and his friends on this journey to save the world and have some fun along the way. This is a really, really fun movie. So Casper has a friend, and the leader, Guy Bosch right here, he comes to Casper's home, and because Casper was scared by his human friend, else. They think that they kill him, so he's either gonna become spooky or he's gonna die. And we find out that that is the furthest thing from the truth. So, this is a really good, lighthearted, spooky movie without the scares. It's very fun and just a funny, good time. Definitely one of my favorites, for sure. So, that is our video for today, my lovely lovelies. I hope that you found it relaxing and didn't mind my manic rambles too much. Thank you so much for watching today. If you end up watching these movies, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know your opinions. Thank you so much, so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Good night.